Today we are dealing with these millennials,
Yes.
and we have to do a lot of things to retain in the organizations. You know, the environment is characterized or determined by volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So how would you suggest to develop emotional intelligence in the people or the leaders that are currently in this context?
Okay, so there's two separate things. One is the millennial and the other is the leader.
Yeah.
For the leader, what we talk about or like to see is the ability to be more accepting of this new generation. They're going to be different. You've got to be adaptable or flexible in order to deal with them. And you have to be optimistic that you're going to overcome the difficulties because they have different expectations. For example, they want to work in an organization where there's purpose, where they know there's meaning to the kinds of work that they do. Secondly, they're going to want to be developed. They want learning and development and coaching. So they're going to demand a lot from their employers. They're not going to stay if they don't get that. And the other part, which is often more difficult, is they want to see progress in their career. Sometimes they can't wait a year or so to get the next increase or promotion. So managers are going to have to learn to deal with that part of the volatility. The fact that the young people, you can't just write them off and say, I can't deal with them, I don't want them. You're going to have to accommodate if you want talent, if you want the good talent. And they are very creative, or they can be very creative in what they contribute. So adapting to that is going to be very important. As far as the millennials, we've tested thousands of millennials. And we know that in terms of emotional intelligence, there's a few skills that they're lower in. For example, they tend to be lower in independence. They tend to be lower in problem solving, and they're not as good in managing stress. So for the millennials, we want them to be more independent, and we do what we can to help them be better at decision making and you know, creating their own environment. We also want them to be better problem solvers. It's really almost ironic that in a society where there's more information at their fingertips than anyone has ever had in history, but they still can't make decisions. Yeah. So we have to help them with that. We have to help them with a process of making decisions and following through on decisions and being more independent. So that's where we see the work has to be done on the millennials on the one hand, and then on the leaders on the other hand to deal with them.